You can share your screen, sir, and you can start the sessions.
Yeah. So very good evening, everyone. My name is Miraz. First of all, a very happy Independence Day to everyone. So just let me share my screen first. Yeah. So hi everyone. Again, a very good evening. My name is Miraz Alam Ansari. I'm a civil engineer and currently working as a BIM engineer and researcher. And in my part time, I used to do freelancing, the BIM content and BIM education. And apart from that as well, I'm also a BIM educator. So today's in this session, we are going to talk about BIM, and we'll be creating its roadmap that how you can learn BIM. And firstly, we are going to understand what exactly BIM is, because there is a lot of misconception and a lot of misunderstanding in the market as of now. And then we are going to understand what are the different strategy and the different steps that you need to follow to understand BIM and to work on BIM to have a better future and better career in BIM. So am I audible to everyone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so who are our target audience for today? What I'm thinking is, like, we have students in just a minute. We have students from pre-final year, we have students final year, and even we have students and the graduates who have just passed out. And even if you are early starter, you can also go through this particular session. Definitely you are going to get a lot of things. We have less time, we have just 1 hour to complete like a lot of things, and definitely you're going to learn a lot of things from this session. Definitely something will be there in your pocket after this particular session. So be focused, definitely you're going to learn. So what are the takeaways, like what we are going to understand from this session? As I told you that we are going to talk about BIM, but before understanding BIM, if you are very beginner, then if you're also starting from very scratch, then definitely after this session you will get to know, like, you don't have to go somewhere else to understand what BIM is. So we are going to talk about the concept, like how it started, how exactly work is happening in our industry, and what are the conventional processes, what BIM lifecycle is. Then after understanding all these things, we'll understand like how you can understand BIM, how you can learn BIM faster and more efficient way, how you can grab jobs even if you are in pre-final year or final year. And at the last, we are going to understand what facility management. This is very cool thing which is happening in our industry, and civil engineers don't know much about this. So we will get to know about that as well. Okay. So let's understand the concept of BIM and its importance and how to make career even if you're in pre-final or final year students. And you know what? I wish I would knew this when I was in college, but unfortunately we did not have that much exposure from college. And especially if you're from tier 2 or tier 3 college, and I understand completely that. So, but yeah, at that time we didn't have that much exposure, but in today's time we have people like Protrainy to help and achieve those things much easier. So okay, what AEC industry is, you need to know this. Why I'm telling before starting exactly BIM, like jumping over BIM, let's understand few things that's really important to understand the overall concept of BIM, because those are very important to understand what exactly BIM is. So AEC stands for architecture, engineering, construction, and operation. So whenever I'm talking about BIM, it will revolve something around this only. So it should be there in your mind that whenever we are talking about BIM, we are not talking only about construction. We are going to talk about the architecture. We are going to talk about its engineering, construction, and operation. Everything is involved in BIM. Okay. So yeah. So what is civil engineering for all of us? Like when we are in college, like we understand that we only understand that learning the theories and solving all those numerical will help us only, but that is not something truth. So what we all know about civil engineering is all about sand, cement, and aggregate. So we have been nurtured like that in college, and it's not our fault as well, and even the college as well. So let's understand like how overall process works in our industry, like the overall AEC industry and the civil engineering industry. Okay. So we should not understand BIM as only sand, cement, and aggregate, because there is much more, a lot of things which is happening in our industry, and we should not only surround ourselves throughout that sand, cement, and aggregate, right? So let's find out like what is happening in between the complete process. Okay, now you can take notes, and because there will be a lot of things if that you can take a note of. But if you don't want to take note of, you are lazy, then definitely you can get those things in your mind. But yeah, definitely just be focused, then we are going to learn whatever we are going to learn. Okay. Yeah. So before understanding what BIM is, as I told you earlier, we understood what AEC is. Now there is a term which is called project lifecycle. So when you are dealing with BIM, whenever you are dealing with some project in the construction industry or the complete AEC industry, then there is a term which is called project lifecycle. So what project lifecycle? Let's understand what human lifecycle. We all know that human lifecycle. That will be the easiest example to understand from. So what happens when we are in the human life cycle is like we take birth, then we have childhood, right? Then we became teenager, then we became like young, we can say young adult, right? Then we became old, and then we die, right? So there are different steps. There are different steps which are being involved from very like birth to die, death, right? So this is called the like human life cycle. It's not visible to everyone, is it? The screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it
No,
is
sir.
visible.
No, sir.
No, no,
Actually, it is
no,
not
not
visible.
visible, sir. Not visible.
What is visible to everyone?
Sir, it's a blank screen, black one.
Black screen, nothing
Only your
else.
name, sir.
Sorry for that. Just a minute. Now I think it will be visible to everybody, right? I'm sorry for
Yes.
that. I just got a message. Okay.
Yes, sir, it's okay.
Okay. Okay. So it's visible, right?
Visible.
Okay. 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 No
Yes, sir.
worries.
It's
We
visible.
didn't have that much thing to see, but now okay. Okay. So we are here. So what project life cycle is like? Before understanding what exactly project life cycle, we need to understand what human life cycle is, right? So as I told you, like there are different steps which are being involved. Like we used to take birth, then there is a like childhood, then teenager, then we become adult, then young, then we became old, and at the last we used to die. So there are different steps which are being followed from the very first to end, right? So that is called human life cycle. Similarly, it happens with a project. It is not only about constructing a building, it's about a project. It can be a building, it can be a bridge, it can be an infrastructure project, or it can be anything, right? So what a project life cycle is, there are different phases, there are different steps which are being involved in a complete project. And as of now, what we know, being a civil engineer, we all know that there is only one job, that is called site engineer. But that is not something which is truth. So what we only know that there are different steps like initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing, right? This is a very conventional and very like general steps, but we are going to get into more depth as we will go more ahead in the like the session. So there are different steps. We only know that the execution part is the site engineering or site works. We only know that is the part of civil engineering, but completely there are different things which are being involved. We have to initiate the project, then we have to plan that when what different task and activity needs to be done, and then we have to do execution process, complete the construction, Then we have to monitor like whether we have done whatever we have done is right or wrong, and then we close it. Closing means like delivering the complete project to the owner to whom it owns, right? So there are different steps which are being involved in the complete uh, a project. So that is called project life cycle. So this should be in your mind whenever we are talking about BIM, because BIM is everything about the project life cycle. So how it works in the industry, like how the project life cycle works in the industry. So let's understand what is happening right now, or like most of the thing, like 60-70% people are doing this only, this particular process. So how it happens? So see, just focus on the illustration only, don't focus on any word as of now. So see, just imagine there is a person who approaches approaches the automation industry or automation factory. He wanted a truck to be manufactured, like very robust. He just approaches to the marketing team and he says like, I just want a very robust truck which should be big in size. Okay, so the marketing team notes down all those things and share the client's idea to the design team, right? So the design team will create some design and plan section, elevation, whatever it is. So whatever is required to create a truck or manufacture a truck. Then he'll share his idea. The designer will share his idea to the production team. Production team will get whatever he will get to understand, he'll just do by himself only, and he'll share his idea to the manufacturing team. And at the last, the manufacturing team will have the designs and everything to do the fabrication part, to do the manufacturing part. So whatever he will be able to understand from that drawing, he'll do, he'll implement into the factory, and he'll create or he'll manufacture the truck. So at the last, what we got a pickup. But in the beginning, what the client wanted to have a truck which should be very big in size, robust structure, something like that. But what actually we got a very small pickup. So this is, and if you see in the illustration between two different professionals, there is a wall. What that wall is, that is a barrier. As if you are in final year, pre-final year, or even in engineering, you must have studied personality development, and in that we have communication. Communication is there is a okay, thank you. Okay, we in communication is a two-way process, right? There is someone who shares his idea and someone who receives its idea, right? And there is a two-way process, like everyone is sharing their idea. So this is what is not happening in our industry as of now. Everyone is just doing their work and sharing their work to other, and the other person will do their work and share to the other. There is no cross sharing is there. That is why the problem is coming. That is why the collaboration is not there, and people are just doing their work, and at last, whatever we wanted to have in the beginning, we are not getting at the last. So this is what is happening in our industry as of now. So just keep it in mind. So what is the end result, like over the walls? That is something which is called over the wall syndrome, which is happening in our industry as of now. So what is the end result? As I just said, that the client wanted to have a truck, but he got a pickup, right? So again, to manufacture a truck, the company, the overall team have to do the rework, right? So to do the rework, there will be more cost involved, there will be more time involved, there will be more manufacturing like team, more machinery, more money, everything should be required, right? So that is a loss to the owner. So basically, in the very beginning, the truck needs to be manufactured in 15 lakhs, for example. But the company will have to, spend more 5 to 6 lakh to do the rework. So again, the budget was 15 lakhs only, but the end result which we got is as 21 lakhs, right? So this is what should not be there in our construction industry. So how it works in our AEC, I just gave you example of a manufacturing industry to make you understand that what exactly is happening in the industry as of now. So that is not only in our civil engineering industry, it's happening in every particular industry. But as a civil engineer, it's our responsibility to take care of what we are into. So how works it works in AEC industry? For example, just imagine like how a project starts. We only know that the site engineering only. So how a project starts, someone dreams up something. The project starts with a dream or a need. there is a need of project, or there is a someone's dream. For example, someone dreams of a building, like this kind of building should be there. Then he'll share the idea with the architect. The architect will create some conceptual design and some architectural designs, and then he share his idea to the structural engineer that this kind of building the owner wants, and the structural engineer will create a structure, do some structural calculations and do some structural analysis, and he'll share his structural drawings. So both the architect and the structural engineer will share their architectural and structural drawing to the site. So there the site engineer will try to understand that what is being written and what is being shown in the architecture and structural drawing, and with the help of that drawing he'll do the execution process and complete the construction. So this is basically the general steps which are being followed in our industry to complete and to work on a project. So I think many of you must have not known this, because we have been trained, we have been nurtured like that only, that we should know the site engineer kind of thing only. Because but this is something which needs to be known, that every particular civil engineer should know that, okay, it's completely fine that you are working as a site engineer, but you must also know that what is happening in the back end and the front end. So because of that, like as I told you, the rework, and because of less coordination, because of the over the wall syndrome, this is what is happening. And this is actually, you must have gone through all these images earlier during WhatsApp exchanges and during Facebook meme pages, Instagram meme pages, all of these. And this is not actually fake, this is actually which is happening in our industry. Because of this, if a project budget is around 2000 crores, then after completion it's around 3000, 4000 crores. So there is a loss of 1000 and 2000 crores just because of this only. So if so there is a solution of it, like how we can implement different other solutions and get rid of all these mistakes. So why these mistakes happen because there is a very less of information. As I told you, the site engineer only construct only what he used to understand, right? What he used to understand from the drawing only. If he will not be able to understand from the drawing what exactly column or beam needs to be constructed on the site, he will want be able to do it. And if he won't be able to understand, he'll do something wrong. And if he'll do something wrong, then again that column or the beam needs to be demolished and again has to be reconstructed, and that will cost them more charges, more time, more efficiency, right? So this is because these mistakes are happening because of not coordinating together, not working together. And we must have a solution in which we can check different things, the exact thing which is going to be happening on the site, and we can simulate all those things in the computer itself. So here BIM comes into play. So I hope you all got to understand. If you have any question, definitely we're going to get those solved at the end of this session, definitely. But so just keep a note of it. If you have any question, just write it down, and definitely we are going to get it solved at the end of this session. Okay, so we have problem that people are not coordinating. We have problem that we can't see what is actually going to happen on the site. We had a problem that every particular phase, every particular step of a project life cycle needs different kind of information, right? So these are the requirements that was not there in the industry previously. So now BIM comes into play. Just remember all those problems, and here is BIM. So BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. Okay. So before going to this particular steps, let me tell you in a very layman language, because there is a very complex definition of building information modeling. But as a fresher, get confused. Most of the students says like BIM is a software, but trust me, BIM is a not software. Just keep it in mind that BIM is not a software at all. Okay, so I'll tell you what it is, but BIM is not a software. Okay, so building information modeling, what exactly it is? So before constructing a building, what we do, we construct the building. For example, let's assume there is a building that we are planning to construct in 2030. Okay, so before constructing, we will not just go in 2030 and we'll construct the building. It's not like that. What we will do, we will construct the exact building which we are going to construct in 2030. we are going to construct that building in a computer itself. That is called virtual construction. Okay, so what we do, we will do a virtual construction of the same building in a computer itself, and we will simulate, we will put different situations, we will check whether there is a problem which is going to happen on the site when we are going to do the actual construction or not. So we will check every particular situation, every particular possibility, we will check in the computer itself. And if it is fine in the computer and everything goes fine in the computer, then there will be nothing to be wrong on the site itself. You're getting my point, right? So we will check everything in the computer, and if everything is right in the computer, then we will extract information from the model, and we will put them in the drawings, and we will send them to the site, and the actual construction will start. So what we will do, we will do the check first, we'll construct the building in the computer, we'll do the check, and then we will send it to the site. So before starting the project, we will complete the project in a computer itself. So that is something which is called building information modeling in a very layman and very general language. So let's understand like in a bit more technical terms. So what BIM is, building information modeling, is a process of AEC industry in which we create a 3D intelligent model. We know that 3D model, right? 3D model is something which is having 3 dimensions, and intelligent model is like which is intelligent, right? When someone will get intelligent, only when he or she is having some information, right? So similarly, if a 3D model is having a lot of information filled in it, then it is a 3D intelligent model, and that is what exactly building information model is. Okay, so what is BIM? BIM is a process in which we create a 3D intelligent model filled with a lot of information, and then we will extract those information in terms of sheets, drawings like architectural drawings, structural drawing, MEP drawings, schedules, costing like BOQs, bill of quantities, and then costing estimation. We will extract all those information from the 3D intelligent model, and we will put those information on the site and use those information on the site and do the real construction planning as per the project lifecycle I told you very previous. Correct? So building information modeling is just a process, it's not a software. Okay, so what I was telling you, like before constructing the actual site, so there are two images, right? The left one and the right one. The left one is the real construction, and the right one is the virtual construction. So what we will do, we will do the virtual construction first. We will construct the actual building which is going to be constructed on the site. We will we will construct the building in the computer itself. We will check every particular possibility of simulations, every particular conditions, and we will check whether any column beam is clashing with each other, any wall of architecture and structure is clashing with each other or not, there is some space planning issue is there or not, if there are sunlight which is coming in the building properly or not. So we will do every particular simulation, we will check everything in the model itself, and then we will implement those drawings and model on the site, and we will do the actual construction. So this is very easiest manner I'm telling you. This is not exact, and this is not a very complex definition I'm telling you. This is very layman language, and you must understand this, I guess. Okay, so it's not only about the model when we are talking about BIM. That's why it's called building information modeling. So we are modeling the information. So here it is. You can see that with the 3D element, we also have different things which are written as 2D, the text and different things. So BIM is all about information. So we will do the virtual construction, but with every element there is an information which is being associated. So that is something which is called BIM. Okay. So I guess BIM is clear to you all. So let's jump on other thing. BIM lifecycle. Okay. So as I told you, like how it works, like we used to construct the building, we do the virtual construction, then we extract information and we put on site, right? Similarly, we understand in the previous, like what project life cycle is. It is something which is similar to BIM life cycle. Okay, BIM life cycle is something similar to that only. So what actually happens? I think your voice is not clear.
I joined late,
I can't hear you properly, but I think something you are talking about
The
AEC.
term AEC is being repeatedly used by you. Hello?
Should I continue?
Yes, sir. Actually, the term AEC is being repeatedly used. So in short, just tell me about AEC, sir. I joined 10 minutes late, sir.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sir,
No
okay.
worries, no worries, no worries. So AEC stands for
Okay,
Architecture,
sir, okay,
Engineering, and
continue.
Construction. Yes. AEC stands for Architecture, Engineering, Construction. If you are just joined, but it's fine. Okay.
Okay,
So what?
sir, got it. Continue.
Yes. So what actually happens in our industry, like whenever you are dealing with BIM. Previously, we talked about the project life cycle, but as of now, we are talking about BIM life cycle. Okay, so BIM is also something which is related to project life cycle, but there is a few things which are more strategically done, and there are actually which few steps which are predefined by the industry. Okay, so what actually happens whenever you are dealing with BIM is like there are different stakeholders. What are stakeholders? The architects, the structural engineer, the MEP engineer, the designers, the conceptual designers, owners, and contractors. These are called stakeholders. Stakeholders are basically the people which are involved in the project. Okay, so coordination of AEC experts, like people come together, all those stakeholders come together and share their ideas, share their views, share their designs together, work together, and they will do a development of BIM model. Here it's written 3D model. So they will do a development of BIM model. They create a BIM model together. They will share their idea. They'll raise their mistake that something has been wrong done by you. Please correct this. And someone will say, okay, this is correct. I'll do something else at this particular. Means that everyone is working together as a team, and then after collecting all those information into a 3D model, into a BIM model, what they will do as per requirement of the project lifecycle. For example, if it is a planning stage, they will I'm going to tell you about the dimension as well, but as of now just understand that from that 3D model, from that BIM model, as per the requirement of the phase, as per the requirement of the project life cycle, we will extract information and we will put on the site and do the practical real-time application. Practical real-time application means we are doing virtual construction first, and now we are doing the actual construction. That is something which is real-time application. So hope you understand what BIM life cycle is. So basically, to conclude what BIM is, what is the use of BIM, is basically gather means gathering all those information from different stakeholders. Generate means from those all information create a BIM model. Okay, and analyze means check whether everything is right or wrong in that particular BIM model. If everything is right in that BIM model, communicate means extract information and share on the site. Realize means when we are implementing all those drawings, all those information on the site, what we have a complete building, we have a complete structure which is there on the site. Previously we did the virtual construction, now we are doing the actual construction. So this is the overall process. So as of now, I must say I'm really sure that you know that BIM is a process. Okay, so BIM is not software, BIM is a process.
Excuse me. Can you please show the previous slide?
Yeah, what happened?
Please show the previous slide.
Yeah, what happened? Tell me. I think if you have any question, just ask me at the end, I guess, because
Before
interrupting will.
that.
Yeah, please tell me if you have. Just tell me.
Before this slide, before this.
Okay. It's fine.
Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Sorry
Okay.
to interrupt.
Yeah. Okay. So we understood like what is the usage of BIM, what exactly BIM is. So now let's jump onto the dimensions of BIM. So whenever you are talking about BIM, like as I told you, there are different information which is being required at every particular stage of the project life cycle. So it is being divided into different parts, that 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D. There is also 8D as well that is not mentioned in this particular slide. So 8D is security. Okay. So 3D, we know that we just discussed what 3D is, what is BIM. So BIM is something which is related to 3D. Okay, and 4D is related to the time, like how much time will be required and how much time will we will require to create a particular project, to complete a project. What are the different, and it will be, you know, split it into different parts, like when the completion of structure will happen, when the completion of the architecture will happen, when the completion of first floor will happen. Like there are different, you know, splitted into, that is called scheduling. Like scheduling when different things needs to be done, and what is the time, what is the date. That is something which is involved in 4D. So 4D is related with time. Then there is the next one, that is 5D. 5D is something which is related to the cost, like how much cost is being associated or being involved in this particular complete project. So again, it will be split into different elements, like how much cost will be, for example, I'll explain you with an example at the last. So 5D is associated with the cost, and 6D associated with the sustainability, like whatever we are constructing. As you know that, I think, I'm not sure, but civil engineering industry is the second or the first place, it comes on the first or second place to emit carbon dioxide. You know that concrete is the first or second, comes on the first or second place to emit carbon dioxide the most. So we have to take care of all these things as well, because nature is something that is being taken care of by ourselves only. So the sustainability is something which comes up in 6D. So you also must have known that, we also have studied in sixth or seventh class, I guess, that whenever whenever there is a sunlight strikes a glass medium, it will get trapped. The sun, the heat energy will get trapped in the glass. Okay, the glass body. So it will not be able to come like outside of that particular glass body. So that is something which is happening in the industry as well. Like there is a big giant structures are there of glasses. So the sunlight enters into the building, but they are not able to emit from that particular building. So to cool down that building, we need to have more air condition. If there is more air conditioning, there will be more power consumption. There will be more power consumption. There will be more natural resources consumption, or man-made resource consumption. So we have to take care of all those things as well whenever we are designing a building. So that comes under 6D. And 7D is facility management. Facility management we are going to talk about at the last of this particular session, because that is something I was talking about. This is very cool. Okay, so let's understand with an example. Like for example, we created a complete virtual construction. We created a BIM model, and that comes under 3D. Okay, and in that BIM model there is a column. For example, there is a column. So in 4D, what happens, we will decide then when that column will get casted on actual site. That comes under 4D. And in 5D, like how much cost is involved in that particular column to be casted on this particular date. Okay, so what 3D is, 3D is BIM model, 4D is 3D plus time, 5D is 4D plus cost. Okay, so these are the different things that you must know, like whenever you are dealing with BIM, because these are different things that we are going to work in whenever you start your career in BIM. Okay, so here is, so as I told you, like there are different levels, there are different types of dimensions which are there. So as per those dimensions, there are different levels which are dependent on those different dimensions. So a level 1, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 0. So if level 0 means there is no BIM. Level 1 means we are using 2D, 3D. Level 2 means we are using 4D, 5D. Level 3 means we are using until 60, 70. We are doing complete BIM. So there are different levels. So do you know that on which level India is? Like every particular level is being divided, being standardized as per the different dimensions of BIM, but India comes on level 1. So from this particular thing, you can get the idea that how much scope of growth is there in India regarding BIM. Because as of now, like only 30 to 40% projects are there which are going to be used which are going to use BIM only. There are not a lot of projects, everyone using just level 0 only because there is no BIM previously. So and now India is understanding the the power of BIM and the usage of BIM. So now it's implementing there. So there is a lot of growth opportunities in BIM in the coming future because everything is going to be digital in the next 5 to 10 years. So we will not have to wait like after 10 years we are going to learn this. Okay, so we have to just go with the trend and we just have to understand everything which is really important to make our civil engineering industry successful. Okay, so India is on level 1. You just can remember this. So the term BIM was coined in the year 1975, and now from the last 4 5 years it's only booming in India. So there's a lot of future. I just said there's a lot of future here in India regarding BIM in the coming industry. Yeah, it's true that things will get evolved as it's written like it's growing and evolving. So it will get evolved, like whatever technology we are using as of now will not be there like in the next 5 10 years, but the definition and what the base of BIM will be the same definitely. Okay, so there's a lot of opportunities, there is a lot of growth, a lot of learning, lot of things that you are going to get whenever you are dealing with BIM. So it's better to start earlier, better to start much faster. So as I just said you like it's been started in 1975. It's been coined. Obviously it's not started in 1975, but it's been coined, like it was there in someone's mind that this is something that is really required in this particular industry. So but still as of now we are around 20 years back as of US. So you can just understand like how much growth opportunities we can grasp, we can just grab from this particular industry. So the first point I already discussed, like why to choose BIM. So why to choose BIM is because white collar job, like you will have to work in an offices, you'll have a corporate job, you'll have to you don't have to deal with sand, cement, aggregate, the conventional thing that we think that civil engineers do. We are already known with a name that's called Mistri. So that is not something which is involved in BIM. So obviously there are a lot of people, but only those people who want to do something out of box comes into BIM. So that is why this is a white collar job. So this is a white collar job. You can work in an offices. There's a quality of life if you're working in a very good industry, and whenever you're dealing, if you have a skill, definitely. It's not only about BIM. If you have a skills, if you have a right knowledge, then you'll have a quality of life, and BIM gives us. So it's a high paying from initial career. As you know that, to be really honest, like we all are engineers, we are all civil engineers, so we know the situation of the market. So as of now, do you know the salary of BIM like I'm not a BIM engineer, the salary of site engineer? I know people, I know students who are getting around 7,000, 8,000 per month. This is really, really bad. So this is the condition of site engineers. This is the condition of execution people on here in India. And because of this COVID, people are shifting from site engineering jobs to office jobs because like construction sites have been shut down. So we should have a skill which we can implement from our home itself. I am doing work from home since last 7 8 months, so I don't have to go outside, I don't have to go to the offices, I don't have to go somewhere, I just can work from home itself. So this is some advantages that BIM gives us. So regarding salary, like a BIM engineer, if you have a good skills, like whatever I'm going to share you, if you have a good skill, if you have a good knowledge, definitely you're going to start from like around 18 to 25,000. You can easily start. If you have a good skill, definitely you're going to get this particular salary. This is a very initial salary. That's why I said in the initial you can get a really high paying job as compared to other domain of civil engineering. So this is, and even if you can also get 25 27,000 as well if you can just have very good knowledge. And then when you start, and after 3 to 6 months you can get 25 27 28,000 as well. So there is also very advanced options as well, as it's growing. So there will be a lot of subjects, new subjects which is going to come in this particular industry. So you can also do masters, you can also expand your career in this particular thing. So there's a lot of things, a lot of good options which are there, which are there are very good options, good points to choose BIM as a career. Okay. Yeah, let me just drink some water. Okay, now we know that like BIM is very good. What BIM is, a lot of things we have covered. So you must have been wondering like how we can start it. So let me tell you the strategy. Like this is a very good strategy. Actually, there's very less people who shares it, and let's start this trend to be involved into this process. So let me tell you the strategy, like how you can learn BIM easier, faster, and more efficiently. So what you need to know, as you know that BIM is a process which of AEC industry. You need to understand how construction works in our industry. So you need to know the process. You need to know the complete life cycle, complete project life cycle, like how different thing works in our industry. You don't have to go much deeper, but you should know that how it works. The complete process, the overview of the construction process, you should know. For example, in virtual construction, what we do, firstly we excavate everything in the model itself. Then what we do, we used to do the PCC, the plain cement concrete. Then we do the mat foundation or whatever you can call it. Then we do the foundation, then plinth, then the superstructure. So basically the substructure, the plinth and superstructure. So this is how the virtual construction works, similarly as it works on the site. So we need to know the overall the process which are being involved. Then you have to understand, but then you have to learn the softwares that are responsible, that are being used in BIM, that are being used to construct BIM models. Okay, so this is something very, very important. BIM is something which is related to softwares only, to be really honest. So you need to be very master in this particular software, which I'm going to tell you in next 5 to 10 minutes. So you have to learn the softwares, then you have to practice. So you all know that practice makes a man perfect. So you need to know all these things. So practice a lot, and after practicing, you have to do the internships. So you can do a different internship. Different companies and MNC start their internship program. So you can just grab those, and if you have professional experience, I'm not talking about if you just have to work in an office to get a professional experience. You can work from home, from your home. You can just do practice whatever software you know, and you just do things right. If you do things right, whatever the industry requires, definitely they are going to hire you. It's just that you need to add some value to the company. Why the company will hire you? Because you know something that the company works on. Only then they are going to hire you. So how you are going to learn that? Learn the construction process, learn the software professionally, and then practice those. Do some internship. Once you are done with your internship, once you are done with your college, you can start with a job, or even you can start working as a freelancer, because you can work from home itself, right? So this is the strategy, like the that you can follow to start working in them, right? So as I told you, like the second one is learn software professionally. So here it is, like what software do you need, like what software exactly you need to learn. So there are a lot of software as it's evolving. As I said, there's a lot of different companies which are introducing their product in the industry, to as they know the potential of this particular industry. So as a professional that I have been that I have experience of working in this industry, I'll tell you that few companies and few products are there in the market which are the market leader, and that are going to stay in the market itself for the years. So there are three different software that you need to know. First is BIM modeling, in which you create BIM models. The second one is BIM coordination, in which you can check like those BIM models is correct or not, there is any error, there is any clash or not. And the third software is visualization, like you can see that how your model, how your building is going to look like when you are going to actually construct it. So there are three different software. So what exactly these softwares are, you must have heard about. So the first one, the AutoCAD, because this is very conventional software. You don't have to learn AutoCAD basically. So basically you can start with these four software. First one is AutoCAD. AutoCAD, you don't need to learn everything in AutoCAD. It's just that you should know that how AutoCAD works, and how to learn drawings. It's just that you don't have to create everything, line and polyline, circle. You don't need to learn all those things. You just need to know how it works and how to read drawings, AutoCAD drawings, just that. What you need to be master on is Autodesk Revit. This is really, really important. So just master Revit, and then as a fresher, you need to know what Navisworks is, but not in very depth. Because in the first or whether like the first 1 year or 2 year, you are not going to work on Navisworks because they will not give you coordination work. They'll give you the modeling work. So you're for the first 1-2 years, you are going to work on Revit only, but you need to know what Navisworks is. So you can start Revit, Navisworks, and for visualization, you can use Nscape. So basically, these are the things. Okay, so the 4 softwares, just remember these 4 software that you have to do. So now here it's the thing that we know that these things that we need to know, these things that we need to learn. So how to learn? The first is there are 2 I have divided into. The first one is self-learning. If you have potential, if you know that you can learn by yourself, if you have proper time, if you have resource, and you know that you can do it alone, then okay, it's completely fine to do it self-learning, no issues. But the second one, if you don't have much time, if you know that how the construction industry, how the AC industry is evolving, so you don't have that much time to just put everything, give you 6-8 months, 10 months, 12 months to learn things by your own, and not learning things more professionally. Like, I would suggest to learn from professional who have gone through the same situation of learning. Like, you just don't learn to be honest, like there are different institutes in the market. Like, they say, like, I'll tell you BIM, I'll tell you, and whenever you go to them, they say BIM is a software. So that is the first thing. Why I'm telling you, because I have gone through the same situation. Okay, so what I tell you, to learn from someone who is having professional experience of working in the industry, and he knows that what are the different strategies and what are the different things that you should know. Like, there are a lot of things which are there in the industry that you don't everything have to master on. You just have to learn those things that are really important. Okay, so there are 2 steps: self-learning and learning from a professional. But the second one is the best one to understand from. Okay, so because BIM is not only about, like, here it's written, don't learn Revit just to create dabba. So students comes to me and they say, like, sir, I know Revit and please give me a job. So when I ask them a question, they say sir, ये तो सीखा ही नहीं, ये तो आता ही नहीं है. So it's like that only. So you should know that what is important, what is required to industry. Only then someone is going to hire you. It's not like you just learn Revit, create some wall door, 4 walls and some doors, put some doors, put some windows, and there's a wall roof. This is BIM. No, this is not BIM. BIM is far beyond than dabba. Why I'm calling this dabba, because that is something, a box like a structure. So this is not something that you must know only. You have to learn strategically that what is required in the industry or what is required in the construction industry. So that is something which I call, this is my personal definition, this is called organizational approach. I call it organizational approach because I teach students what is required in the organization. I don't teach students what is not required in the industry. Like, there are different kind of projects that a company works on. Only those things that needs to be learned, not everything, because as a fresher you work on limited things. Slowly you get into things, you get introduced to different things that are important in the industry. Okay, so this is something that you need to know. And then, yeah, why I am calling Revit, because this is a market leader, and a lot of things that is really important in the industry is already there. That you could, why Revit? Because previously we were using like different software to do quantity estimation, to do quantity takeoff, to do the basic clash detection, to extract drawings, to create 2D detailing. There are different software for different things, but here in Revit you can do multiple things on a single platform itself. So that's why BIM, for creating BIM models, Revit is the very showstopper. Okay. So here, that what I was talking about, that BIM is not a software. BIM is a process, and Revit is a tool to achieve BIM as a process. So this is something that you should know, that Revit is not BIM at all. If it was there in your mind that Revit is a BIM, so please remove it from today itself, that Revit is not BIM. Revit is just a tool to achieve BIM as a process. Okay. And yeah, so this is something that you must have very fascinated about, like how to get pre-final or final year job. So being a civil engineer, being a student, I have gone through that as well. When I was in engineering, I was also thinking about that to get a like pre-final year and final year job, and I get that, and I got a job like internship I got in third year. So this is what you can do: learn softwares, learn these processes that I just told you previously, like what are the different things that you need to know, learn those software, learn the complete process, and just if you have a skill, definitely you are going to get an internship. In the pre-final year itself, third year itself, there are different companies that are hiring students. You can just go there and get hired and work there, get some professional experience, and after final year you are having a job. So this is something that you can do and get a pre-final year job. And this is not something like I'm just bugging up or just telling you like, okay, you can easily find it out. This is actually happening, and if you have a skill, definitely you're going to get it. Okay. So yeah, and these are different career options that you can start with. You can start as a BIM intern, then junior BIM modeler, BIM architect, BIM engineer. So slowly you can get all these things. And you know what? There is a last one. There is a BIM manager. You can be a BIM manager in the next 5 years to 6 years itself. And a BIM engineer salary, you know what it is? It starts from 1 lakh to 2 lakh. So it is something per month I'm talking about. So you can grab these opportunities, learn those things, and just master those skills, and you are good to go. Okay. I think we are running out of time. We have last one thing to cover, and then we have questions as well. Okay, let me tell you about facility management. This is the last one that we are going to talk about. This is a very cool thing. And okay. Okay. Can everyone mute themselves? I think some. I'm getting some disturbance. Can you all mute yourself? Thank you. Okay. So 70, we talk about the 2D, 3D, 4D, 5D, 6D, 70, right? So the last one is 70. So 70 stands for facility management. Like it's the second last stage in which a project works on. Facility management is something which we can call maintenance work as well. Whenever there is a building which is being constructed and people start living there, so there can be a problem, like someone's fan will stop working, someone bulb will stop working, something like that, right? So let's take an example of a Burj Al Arab. There is a 7-star hotel in Dubai. You all must have known. This is an iconic building in Dubai. So let's just understand from an example. There is a conference hall in Burj Al Arab. That's conference hall number 58. Okay. So there is a bulb which is called this, let's say, CFL Armstrong lighting fixture, just that. So whenever we create a BIM model for 7D, we create BIM model for different dimensions. We create 4D for different dimension, BIM model for 4D, BIM model for 5D, BIM model for 6D, BIM model for 7D. So whenever we are creating a BIM model for 7D, we will put information like this. For example, if we will place a bulb in the BIM model, we will have this much information in the BIM model itself. So what will happen? For example, the conference hall number 58, there is a conference hall number 58, there is a bulb Armstrong lighting fixture will get fused. Okay, it got fused. So what will happen? There is an app which is called UBIM. Okay, so there is a maintenance engineer on the site on the Burj Al Arab, and he'll get a notification that in say, just a minute. Say in conference hall number 58, there is a bulb which got fused. He'll definitely got a notification in his app. So what he will do, he'll raise a invoice to the vendor, because every information is there. Like in the BIM model, when we were creating the BIM model, we put every information, like this bulb is being purchased from this vendor, this bulb, the warranty of this bulb is 10 years, the in the next 10 years, 20 years, we will get this particular bulb from this particular place. Every particular information is being associated with the BIM model itself. So what the maintenance engineer will do, he'll generate an invoice to the vendor wherever that particular bulb is available, and the vendor will get a notification. He'll send an operator, and the operator will come by automatically to the site, and he'll change the bulb, because he know like what kind of bulb is there, what are the different specification of the bulb. So this is the automation process. This is something which is happening in our industry and no one talks about this. So this is something which comes under automation. So this is the second last stage, facility management, which comes under in BIM. So this is very cool thing. I think we don't have that much time to discuss it in much detail, but definitely in the coming days, if we are having any session, definitely we are going to learn a lot of things from facility management, right? So this is something which is happening in our industry, and there are a lot of cool things which are happening. So you must know all those things as well, right? So yeah, this was all about this particular session, and I hope you learned something from this session. And this is what you can say, what I can say to all, that keep learning and be the best version of yourself. So now we are going to take few questions. This session is completed, and you can just ask your questions, I guess, in the chat box, and then one by one I'll take those questions and answer all those questions. Okay, we will take next 2 minutes, because I guess we have already completed, we are going to complete 1 hour. So just write down your question. If you're having any questions, just write down in the chat box, and I'll talk about all those things. Okay, just take 1 minute. Okay, please.
ये स्पीकर पे ना, चैट किधर जो इसमें
कोई है नहीं क्या?
रहने दे।
Okay, let's start. We have a lot of questions, so let's start. So the first question is from Jatin Gupta. He's asked like how to start BIM career. I said that, like, right, like you just have to start learning the construction process, then learn those softwares, and it's really important to learn from someone who's experienced, because there's a lot of institutes out there who just takes money and just don't actually teach you anything which is really important for the industry. So just if you are not capable of money, or if you are not capable of taking a course, then you can start learning by yourself. But I would really request you to not spend your lot of money on an institute which is not teaching you previously, right? Okay. Then we have also a plan, like we are also like we have course on complete like BIM. We are planning complete BIM course here, and on in our Protrainy, and we have a lot of things to cover. We have a lot of teams, like we have a lot of people who are involved in this particular thing. We have a lot of experts, and I'm also one of them, and we are planning a very good course for all of you guys, and you should definitely check out. And for further more information, you can definitely ask Protrainy team. But as of now, you must know that we have a very good opportunity for all of you guys to learn and start your career in BIM. So we also, I guess, internship opportunities we provide and everything. You can definitely ask regarding all these things to Protrainy team, but we have a lot of other options. Okay, then second one from Rahul, confused between Tekla or Revit, which software is good? See, as I told you, like every particular phase, every particular step, every particular phase of a project lifecycle involves different kind of work. So Tekla is something related to purely structural, like modeling structural element, more of modeling the steel structure. There is also RCC as well, but Tekla is more of a structure only. But whenever we are talking about BIM, Revit is a showstopper. Why? Because After completing work in Tekla, we extract information from Tekla and put in Revit, because Revit is a platform where multiple people can work on a same file, right? So that is something you must need to know, that Revit is something which is purely related to BIM, and Tekla is purely related, that is somewhere a part of BIM, but purely related to structure only. So I guess you should start with Revit. That is very good software. Then question from Nurul Amin, how learn BIM modeler work, how to get the job? So see, as I said, you just have to learn the softwares. BIM modeler is the very start job, like after BIM intern. You just have to learn the software which I told, and you can just work professionally on them and just grab the opportunities. But make sure that whatever you learn, it should be as per this industry only. Otherwise, no one are going to hire you. It's really important to learn as per the industry standards. Otherwise, that is of no use. Only learning Revit to create a, as I said, dub, that is not something you need to know. You need to know everything which is as per the industry. Shubham Kumar Verma, as a highway design engineer, which software should I learn? I'm not an expert of highway design engineer, but definitely you can ask the Protrainy team regarding this, because there's I remember that probably they are having different courses on highway design engineering as well. So definitely ask Protrainy team. They are having all this information, right? Is it any certificate provided for this webinar? Okay, I don't know about this, but you know what? Certificate is just a paper. You must have skill to showcase. You don't have to be a certificate to showcase, because everyone, for example, if you got a job on certificate, then if you start working in the office and you don't know how to work, then you won't say that I have a certificate, I have a certificate. You will say I have a skill, then only you can work now. Otherwise you won't be able to. So certificate is not important, skill is important. And here on Protrainy, we are here for skill only. So just focus on that. Okay, Shubham Kumar again asked, will Revit help to road designers? Yes, Revit works like in the past 1 year. I worked on like around 7 to 8 road projects that I worked on Revit only. Infrastructure project comes under like Revit. We design every infrastructure project or metro or road project in Revit as well. Yeah, it comes in road. Then Shreyasi Kumari, can you suggest some good institutes from where I can learn this software? We are here. We are here for you. So as I said, like, just don't go somewhere just to spend money. If you are really willing to learn something at very reasonable cost, or with, like, here we are doing a webinar like which costs a lot of things, like a lot of things are involved in this particular like session, but we are doing it completely for free. So you can definitely ask Protrainy team regarding all these things. We have definitely very good opportunities, very good courses here on Protrainy. So you can definitely ask them, but don't go somewhere to just to spend money. And if you don't have any will to learn these things, that will be of no use. That will go on vain only. Which scale of project is BIM relevant to? BIM is relevant to every particular thing which is happening in the industry. So whether it's an interior design project, whether it is a residential building, institutional building, commercial building, infrastructure projects, hospitality, everything comes under BIM. So whenever it is something which is related to the construction industry, BIM is there. So you can the scale of project can be like as of now it's for the large scale projects, like for metro, for harbors, and for big residential buildings and all these things. But for these kind of things, it's good. Like for smaller projects, as of now it's not there in India, but in like European countries and like in Germany and other places, there are a lot of projects which are happening, which are on a small scale as well. So once you are done with the learning process, there is a lot of opportunities. So you don't have to care much about that. Just start the process and you're good to go. Venkateshwaralu, so please inform any institution which giving training. Definitely the same answer I just tell you all guys. Then should you teach up to 70? Yeah. See, 70 is something which is actually applicable whenever you are dealing with the 3D. It starts from 3D itself, and then there are different options which are there. As of now in India, like we are using only up to 45D. There are around 20% projects which are only using 4D and 5D. So in 7D, there's not a lot of projects, because this is again one of the conceptual. This is a concept. This comes under concept that is the open BIM or integrated BIM. That is the level 3. That is still a concept, not in the reality. But yeah, still there are projects like the Grand Chola, ITC Chola. There is a hotel in India, so there is a use of 7D over there. So will you provide? Okay, okay. Can I directly learn 5D? Okay, you can learn 5D, but 5D comes under, this is a dimension of BIM, right? So if you will not create a BIM model, then you won't directly go on 5D. 5D is something which comes under BIM only. It starts from 3D and then goes to 5D. And if you want, if you're only talking about the costing estimation, then you can just start learning the costing. You can just start learning how to create bill of quantities, BOQs, which are called. So you can start from there itself. So not much of use, but I would suggest you to start from 3D itself, like BIM modeling itself, then you go slowly. And if you are really desperate about 5D, then start with bill of quantities or quantity estimation. How BIM is useful in structural designing. Similarly, as I said, it's a architecture, engineering, and construction industry. So engineering, if there is engineering, there is a structural design, right? So it's useful, definitely useful to create structural designs, because every architectural elements in the industry needs to be designed with the structure as well, because only then it is going to be load bearing, right? Because only then it is going to bear the loads of people, places, and other resources. So it is very helpful. How BIM is benefited in highway design engineers. So as I said, like highway design comes under road construction and infrastructure as well. So this is one of the part of BIM as well. And regarding the only the hardcore design engineering, like highway designing, you can definitely ask Protrainy team. They'll tell you all those things. And how much experience is needed on site to become BIM engineer? If you know, if you're already working on site, you already know how to work on site and how different things work on site, like how construction works. Then you can start learning the softwares, and then once you are done with your softwares, how much not much experience is needed. See, you can just start as a BIM intern, and then slowly you can be a BIM engineer in the next 1 to 2 years. But yeah, again, there are some people who are still doing as a BIM modeler job, because they are not learning. So if you keep learning like things, different things, then definitely a lot of things are there to know there. Architect Ayushi Kalra, can I speak? Okay, once we are done with questions, I think we can. Sir, I am a site engineer, 4 years experience. How should I approach for BIM industry? How to start learning? Definitely the same thing I just like shared. Like all those things are important. Just follow those rules, follow those steps. You are good to go. There not any rocket science to learn these things. You just have to be very strategic, and things will work out. Sir, I have completed Revit's architecture only. Do we have to learn all part like structure MEP? If you are a civil engineer, then you need to know, you need to learn the structure part as well, like architecture structure. Because see, if you're learning architecture only, again, it is like creating only wall door, window, only that, right? So you need to, if being a civil engineer, you need to know the structure part as well, that how different structural elements is going to help the architectural element to stay back. So that is important. And for MEP, you can also learn MEP for coordination purpose, because when you are going to be a senior person in the company, then you'll have to do the coordination part as well. So that is important. How to learn the BIM in our own? Yeah, that is what I said. Like if you want to learn by yourself, if you can't afford like someone to help you out, but definitely you can just learn by yourself, download those softwares and then start learning by yourself. There are different resources available, but again, to learn professionally, you need someone who is having professional experience, because they are the one who is going to tell you like what are the different things, what are the different process you need to know, different things that you need to learn and which are important in the industry to be known, right? So this is actually important. Like you must have someone to guide you, because there are a lot of people who are just misguiding people, because as I said, BIM is not software. People are telling BIM is a software. So Shubham Sindhe sir does going masters or ME or MTech in construction management after BE will help you. See, if you are planning to do a master's or MTech in construction and management, or from NICMAR or anywhere, so it's just that if you're really passionate about BIM, then it doesn't matter like in what stream you are doing like your master's, whether it's geotechnical or structural engineering or transportation. You can do your final year dissertation in BIM, and then any company will hire you if you have good skills. So it doesn't matter. Which platform is good for learning BIM career? This is the platform where you can learn BIM very better. I'm here for you, definitely. And yeah, there are people there, as I said, professional people are already there. So there is not abundance of resource out there. So it's you who have to choose like what you need to learn and how you are going to approach that. So there's a lot of resources available. How to get the job? I completed AutoCAD and Revit. As I said, you have learned Revit and AutoCAD, it's fine, but you need to master those, like what is important. For example, in Revit MEP, you should know, you only should not know like how to draw a pipe, how to draw a bend or some connections. You also need to know like how it actually going to be constructed or going to be implemented on site as well. So MEP comes like how different piping, how different electrical circuits are working in the mechanic in the BIM model and in the industry as well, and how different mechanical equipments are going to work, the duct work, the fabrication part. You need to know all those as well. So only knowing how different tool works is not important. Knowing when to use that tool is important. Okay, what challenges or barriers will I encounter while using BIM? See, the first is thing, like if I talk about an organization, uh, it can be an organization or individual thing. If it is for organization, the first barrier is that the cost. See, if you are going to use BIM for a very commercial thing, then if you have to buy a Revit, it costs around 2 lakh for a year. The subscription of Autodesk Revit, a professional Autodesk Revit license is 2 lakhs for a year. But if you are an educator, if you are a student, then Autodesk give it for free. You just have to go over their site and just do all those things. So it is the barrier firstly in the BIM industry, and then the training part comes up. Like people are not trained to work on BIM. They are just known to only AutoCAD, using AutoCAD, doing 2D like detailing and all these things, and doing the same thing again and again. And I just read your name. You are an architect, I guess. So architects usually do work in AutoCAD from the very start. I know architect work in Revit as well, when they know that what are the different advantages of Revit. So doing 2D, the pain, like firstly creating the plan, then from that particular plan you draw a section, and then you remember, and then you imagine different things, that what are the different things that needs to be there in the section itself. So you draw plan differently, you draw the section separately. So there are a lot of things that you have to do again and again. But in BIM, when you are dealing with Revit, you just have to create a plan, and automatically section elevation is creating by itself only. So a lot of advantages are there. And regarding the disadvantage, I won't say disadvantage. It's just that the industry is evolving. Industry is just adopting all these technologies. Then definitely you have to see all those, encounter all those initial issues, like the cost and initial cost, which is required in the industry for BIM. Meeting finish or continue? Okay. Then what is the importance of software like SAP 2000 STAT Pro? See, it's basically for hardcore structures only. If you learn STAT Pro, then SAP is important for the analysis and other the foundation designs and all these things. And if you learn ETABS, then it's ETABS for the structural analysis, and then you also have to learn SAFE as well. So these are purely for the structural analysis and structural design only. But Revit is not for design only. Revit is for the design and development. Tell me the direction by which I can improve myself for software skills. It's basically that you need to know, as I said, you need to learn the professional thing first, and just practice. It's just that practice makes man perfect. It's really like this is truth that you just need to know. So that is important. Just practice on those and just learn those which is required. For example, if a company works on scan to BIM, if a company works on the architectural elements, if the company works on the Revit families only, then you have to, if you're going to work there, then you have to work on those things only. You are not going to learn structural analysis, you are not going to learn stat pro, etabs, right? So work on those things which is required in the industry, which is required in an organization, because only then they are going to hire you. Okay, can you please do a webinar on doing a small project with a complete? Definitely, just you can put all those things in the feedback form. Definitely, I think the Protrainy team will do something regarding this. Can you please conduct internship for final years? You can ask definitely with the team. Does this also includes MEP and sanitary design? Yeah, sanitary design, all this comes under the MEP, I guess. So the overall BIM considers the MEP, the architecture, engineering, and construction. The engineering is there, the structural engineer, the architect, structural engineer, MEP engineer, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, all comes under BIM. So yeah, what should be the career path of engineer in BIM? Yeah, this is the path. You just, whenever you're in college, you just learn all those theoretical knowledge, definitely, but those theoretical knowledge should have the application as well. You just don't mug up all those things like okay, I will learn the complete theory part. You are an engineer, you need to know that if you're learning some theory part, then what is the application of that particular theory part. So you should know all these things as well. Okay, which are useful for us, could you provide? We have courses, as I said, we have courses and we are planning for courses, the complete BIM course, and at very reasonable price, I guess, and definitely you can ask Protrainy team that what we are planning, and just stay with us. There are a lot of things that are coming in this particular industry, right? So I guess we have completed all those questions, and they're very fruitful. I am really happy that you have a lot of questions, and you had a lot of questions. I'm really happy. So just start your career. Civil engineering is not only about the sand, cement, aggregate. There are a lot of multiple things that are actually happening in the industry, and don't just be called a Mistri, be an engineer. So right. So I guess we are done with the session, and thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. So this is what I wanted to share, and thank you. Ayush, I'm done from my side.
Thank you so much, sir. I will be ending the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.